Okay, hi everybody. I'm Michelle Niles with Salt Placement, and today I'm here speaking with Carmen Foy with Crew Food Safety. We wanted to go over a few things with crew safety on board. So Carmen, hi.
Hi, how are you today?
I'm great. Carmen was feeling a little bit bashful today, so she's not on camera with me.
No, I'm under the sea.
Yeah, she's
That's
under the sea. She's under the blue. We tried to get her logo up, but that didn't work so well. We're not so technical savvy as we think.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. Well, we're here to talk about safety today, right?
Yes, we are. So you're in Newport, right?
Yep, we're in Newport right now. Normally, our classes are held for crew food safety at MPT and ICT in Fort Lauderdale. But this summer, we've decided to take the show on the road, and we're here in Newport to cover our crew up here. So we'll be offering classes on food safety and hygiene up here in Newport for the summer.
That's fantastic. And you know, Carmen and I have a lot of conversations together about her food and safety courses. And she's just a wealth of information to me. So I figured that we would open it up to go live into your houses and boats and talk a little bit more about who actually needs to take the food and safety course and what the reason behind it is. So Carmen's the girl to find out all that information from. So Carmen, we're really excited to have her here. She's a wealth of knowledge. So Carmen, why don't you start off with telling us about who is supposed to take the food and safety course?
Okay, well, food safety and hygiene onboard vessels is a requirement for anyone that handles food. So whether you are a stewardess or an interior crew member that's placing a table or washing a dish or doing anything on board in terms of food handling, you need the level 2 food safety and hygiene training. Level 3 is more for our chefs or anyone that's in a management position that sort of manages a kitchen or needs to follow HACCP rules and guidelines. So we have two different levels, one which is more of a food handler level and the other one is more of a management level.
Okay. And we're getting a lot of confusion, maybe is the wrong word for this, but from captains and other crew agents as well for the food and safety courses of who takes it. And like you said, so the management takes level 3 and a chef on board almost has to, right? Is that safe to say?
Well, I mean, let's go back 5 years. When we originally wrote this course 5 years ago for the yachting industry, it was not a requirement. But we felt that food safety was a safety issue on board vessels, specifically when you're serving food or you're in a galley. It's part of safety. Mm-hmm. So then you fast forward 5 years and then the MLC comes out. MCA requirements are that, you know, anyone that handles food or anyone that is a chef on board a vessel should have food safety and hygiene. It was really a great addition to our safety protocols on board because it really didn't exist before, but now it's something that's a requirement. So it's good for all safety measures on board.
Right, and it's like we were talking about safety is so important on board, outside on the deck as well as inside, because we are giving a service to people just like we would in a restaurant.
Yes, and you know, one of the things with working in a restaurant is at the end of the day, you go home. You know, you're a server or you're a chef, you go home, you relax at home, you're taking a shower in your own home. When you're working on a vessel, we live in the same quarters. We have different hygiene issues that we have to be concerned about on board a vessel versus at home. So I think, you know, as a home cook or or somebody that's working in a restaurant, you have different hygiene issues. So on board a vessel, we need to make sure that if we live in a common area, we have to remember that community-acquired diseases are possible. So we have to watch out for staph infections. We have to watch out for all of that other stuff. So that's something that we also touch on in the class, is that it's not just food safety, it's also the hygiene behind it.
Right, and you're living in such close quarters. It's not the best ventilation system also. So there are other factors involved. And like we had a conversation prior in Newport last year about even something as simple as razors in the shower with crew.
Right, leaving anything in the heads that, you know, in a common area is generally not a good idea. It's just keep your gear with you. So don't leave anything behind that you don't want someone else using.
Right.
And also, you know, one of the things, you know, 5 years ago when we looked at why food safety was important on board vessels was the water bottles on board. One of the biggest pet peeves, one of the things, the most unhygienic thing I've seen on board a vessel was, we would have our interior crew grabbing these half full bottles of water and bringing them into the galley and putting them into coffee makers or putting them into kettles.
Well, yes, that's a common, from myself being a stew, I can tell you I was I did that as well. I grabbed the empty water bottles because you have a sense of guilt and you have a sense of you want to help the environment. But as we were talking, you're not really going to help the environment being on a big carbon footprint such as a yacht.
Right. And that using that water for a common use, and the argument is, well, a certain temperature, you're going to kill virus, you're going to kill bacteria, you're going to kill all the things that possibly could go in there. But no one, on board a vessel, you also have to think about, yes, that might be true, certain temperatures for a certain amount of time, but you have to think that it also, when you're taking a bottle of water that's been used or been, someone's drank out of that, you have something, backwash, whatever was in their mouth is now potentially in that bottle of water. And now you're joining it with everybody else's backwash, and you're putting it in a kettle and you're putting it into a coffee maker. So I know it sounds gross, but it happens daily on boats.
Yes, it is. It is. It's almost taught. I will go that far as to say that chief stews will tell their younger stews to take this water bottle. And for the simple fact, from being in that position, you don't have a lot of room for water bottles.
Yes.
The fear of running out of water bottles. So what maybe is a solution?
If you have potable water on board your vessel and your vessel has good drinking water, get every crew member should have their own bottle of water, that has their name on it, and they're filling it up from the tap. I think one of the things that we have to work on is, if we are worried about environment issues and we're worried about our footprint, is that to reduce plastic on board the vessel is the right way to go. Not to reuse water, but to eliminate plastic.
Yeah, I think that's a big issue.
And I think, it goes into safety at sea. Everything kind of relates back to the environment, how we treat the sea, how we manage things on board a vessel is, it's important in every department. So, safety on deck, safety down below, thinking about the environment, thinking how do we do things properly so that we do not hurt one another, in terms of like staph infections. If someone gets a staph infection, what's the proper protocol for that?
And you cover all of this in the course.
Yeah, I mean, it has to be discussed, because when we live in community, like say for example, in a hospital, community-acquired diseases or infections are what kill a lot of people in hospital settings, because you might go in for a heart attack, but you may die from a secondary infection, like a staph infection.
Right.
And if you're living on board a vessel, you're living in a community. So if I get a staph infection, the probability that another stew or another chef or somebody else on board is going to get that staph infection is high. Right. So we have to figure out how to contain it and how to treat it so we don't cause the spread of, bacteria or virus.
Well, I think what you're doing here for the crew is wonderful. And you can find Carmen in Newport, Rhode Island. I myself am in Sag Harbor right now, so we are representing the Northeast fairly well this morning. Beside us talking to that side, I think, is a Q&A. So if you have any Q&As for myself or for Carmen on the issue, just drop a line. Also, Carmen has a blog. Carmen, do you want to tell us a little bit more about your blog?
Sure. On our website, crewfoodsafety.com, we have a frequently asked question button that you can press, and it answers a lot of the questions that you have versus what is level 2, level 3, what are the MINs, what is a marine information note, what MINs are associated with these requirements. So if you have any questions, either you could go to the blog page on the website or just go to our Facebook page, where we are updating constantly, whether there's food recalls or if there's hygiene issues that we need to address. And then any frequently asked questions are also on Facebook. So any questions, just let us know.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much for spending time with us this morning.
Thank you so much, Michelle. Have a great day.
You too.